Well, good afternoon and welcome to the final keynote session for the IFLA Information Futures Summit. And today's final keynote is called Conversations and Provocations. And I know many of you are looking forward to hearing more about the work of the National Library Board of Singapore. My first visit to Singapore to see the work of the National Library Board was in 2004. And it was so inspiring then, and today it is even more inspiring, and I think you're going to have a fantastic experience this afternoon. I'll briefly introduce our speakers. We have Cher Pong, who is the Chief Executive of the National Library Board, and he oversees the work of 28 public libraries, the National Library and the National Archives of Singapore. And since assuming this role, he's been actively driving organisational transformation within the National Library Board, including the implementation of Lab 25, the Libraries and Archives Blueprint. Cher Pong will be joined by Jean Tan, who is the Chief Librarian of the National Library Board, and as Chief Innovation Officer, he is spearheading the development of Lab 25, a new transformative vision for the National Library, the National Archives and public libraries in Singapore. And of course, their full bios are on the app or on the Summit's website. I've introduced Jean 3 times already around the world, and I can tell you that you can probably expect the unexpected. So strap yourselves in for a wild ride, and I'll hand over to you, Cher Pong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm over here. Hi. Okay, so apparently Brisbane is the sunshine state, is it? Yeah, I'm not getting enough sunshine, so I need a little bit of sunshine from you guys. Okay, so I need you to say something after me. Can you do that? Okay, and you have to say, don't say it yet. Okay, be good librarians and listen. Okay, say stronger and then say together. Okay, because you all want to suck up to Vicky. Because that's her presidential theme. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? Okay, so first stronger than together. Okay? Or is it stronger together? Say it together. Shall we? Shall we, sir? We say it together? Yeah, you're on it? Yeah. Where are you from, sir?
Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States.
Oh, my favorite city in the world. Okay, so guys, if you guys are really participative, you get prizes. Whoa. You're from there too? Oh, that's also my favorite city. Do you know each other? Come over here. I'm so sorry. This is a participatory conference. So we have to participate. Where are the cameras, guys? Where are the cameras? Where's the cameraman? Come on, guys. Where are you? Cameraman, come over here. Okay, scooch over here. Come, sir. Mark, right? Mark and Elizabeth, know each other. You're from Atlanta, build communities because that's what libraries do. Right, guys? Okay, come, let's do it. Okay. Thank you. I've got several more of these. So, guys, there's a very simple way to win this. You just had to smile for an hour. Okay, guys? So forget about facial paralysis. You can do that later. Okay, so smile for 1 hour. And you get a chance to win this fantastic, I have no idea what it is. What is it? Yeah, it's some Peranakan trials. Okay, are you ready for Stronger Together? Okay, at the count of 3, say Stronger Together. I want it loud, guys. It's a sunshine city. We have to do justice to the sunshine. Are you ready, guys? Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was good. So shall we do that? Stronger together and then, whoo! Okay, ready? Okay, I'm trying to walk down. I'm trying not to trip. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Why? What would you like to do?
Get on stage to film it.
Okay, come. Okay, guys, I'm very sorry to my boss. Okay, we don't have enough time for content, but who cares about content? Okay, are you ready? Sorry, I'm dripping. Yeah. I have severe stage fright. Yeah.
Careful.
Okay, are you ready, Kate? Are you ready, Kate? Yes, Kate. Yeah. Kate, can you stand up and help us to lead the church together? Come. Kate, yes. Kate from SLQ. Are you ready, Kate? Okay, are you ready to filming? Okay, boss, you should stand up too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys, it comes to hand action. Stronger together. Woo! Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay, you should all stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Everyone stand up. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry it's taking time. Vicky's getting nervous, but come on, guys. We've got to do this, okay? We are librarians, and librarians are not shrinking violets. Okay, I'm trying to make my way to the front. Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay, stronger together, and woo! Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Stronger together.
Well done, guys. Okay. Come. Sorry, sir. Okay, so now it's going to go all the way downhill. Okay, from here. No, it's not. Yeah. I still want my bonus and promotion. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do something a little different today with my boss because I really don't like people looking at their phones. Okay? I can see several people looking up from their phones. Okay, the only thing you should do with your phones is to film me. And my boss. Okay, so no looking down at phones because guess what? We are not going to do Q&A that way. So the only way to win one of these darlings is to ask us a question. And the only way to ask us a question is to put your hand up. Okay, are you good for that? Can we get more house lights on? Because I can't see all this. Yes, thank you guys. Okay, so anytime you have a question, you can just raise your hand and I will raise to you. Okay, I've trained for a marathon, I can do this. Okay, so are you guys okay with that? Shall we do it this way? Okay, so let me just say something about us and then we'll get into the conversation proper. I'll give my boss a good introduction. So the National Library Board of Singapore is a weird animal. We are a threesome. Okay, so guys, you guys are not winning this prize. Yeah. They're accused for laughing, right? Yeah. Okay. Facial paralysis and laughing. So we are made out of 3 different arms. We are the public libraries, the National Library, and National Archives. So we rule quite a lot of the libraries, but we also work very closely with university libraries. And the second thing is, guess what? Our reach after COVID, 78% of all Singapore residents. That's 8 in 10. Yeah, and before COVID, it was 72%. So guys, we kicked the ass of COVID. Yeah. Okay. But today we're not here to talk about kicking ass. We are here to talk about the ass kicker. So my boss here, Mr. Ng. I'm sorry. I am so fired. Okay. So there are times for silence. Okay, so this is silence. Okay. So Balenciaga and Gucci. So Balenciaga did something really weird a couple of years ago. They hacked Gucci. They started sending out models carrying Gucci prints and Gucci shapes and all that. And it was the transformation of the Gucci house coat. And I always wondered, because my boss, you were never from the libraries, and I was never from non-libraries. And for some strange reason, I left the libraries for 5 years, and when I got back, my boss came, and he's been here for 5 years. So today is like the insider meets the outsider. Yeah, so I have a question for you, and Vicky, whatever he says, forgive us. I would like you to introduce me a 4th time, somewhere in the world. Okay, so my question for Cher Pong is, what do you think of this conference?
Well, I'd say that Marek, who's the opening keynote speaker, he was an exciting and energetic speaker, but he was wrong. He was wrong certainly on at least one count. He was wrong when he said that libraries were not exciting. I think libraries, there has probably never been a more exciting time to be in the libraries right now.
Yeah, it's very exciting, yeah. It is exciting, guys. I'm not convincing you it's very exciting. Yeah, it's very exciting, but that comment was even more exciting. Okay, we're gonna get more into that later on why libraries are exciting. But I wanted to ask you, like, coming into the library world, because my boss has been in Ministry of Labour, he's been in education, skills, and all that. What do you think are the house codes of a library?
Well, I think the house code for the library is around what I would call the trinity of reading, learning, and discovery. right? And I would say each is important on its own right, but we probably haven't paid enough attention to all three equally. I say we probably paid, at least in Singapore, we paid the most attention probably to reading, and early literacy and things like that are obviously very, very important. But while discovery is not alien to us, certainly, but we do things like book displays, we do banners on websites, etc., to promote discovery. But I think we haven't quite pushed the boundary on what discovery truly means, particularly in tapping on it to reimagine discovery for our patrons.
Yeah, I think so too. And I wanted to ask you about the first thing that you did. So guys, this is important. Listen, these are like teachable moments. Okay, so put on your seriousness. No smiling. No smiling. Gilchin, don't smile. Don't smile. Look serious. Yeah, Gilchin. Okay, and guys, can I just say something? If you sleep, I can tell. And I will come to you. Okay, so yeah. Okay, sorry. So the first thing that you did when you joined the National Library, what did you do? What did you do?
Actually, we embarked on what we called Lab 25. So it's a five-year plan. I mean, we did quite a few things differently. I think we quickly decided that we needed organizational transformation. We decided that because we were really coming out of the pandemic, that in terms of the time horizon for planning, that 10 years was probably for us too long a period. There was too much uncertainty, ambiguity in the environment. So we decided we'll do a 5-year time horizon for planning. We decided also not to do a master plan because a master plan meant that we needed to detail every single step we would be taking over the next 5 years. And we felt that that would be constraining because we would be somewhat presumptuous in knowing what we would want to do over the next 5 years. So instead, what we did was that we developed what we call a blueprint, where we articulated what our North Stars are around 4 roles, right? And then we then said, well, this is the broad direction we would take. And because the plans were so ambitious, what we wanted to do in terms of the North Stars, we decided that to issue it as a sort of invitation to partners, to say, come forward, partner with us, work with us, and we'll co-create something. We might not go in a straight line towards the North Stars. There might be twists and turns along the way, but we're headed in that broad direction. The final thing that we did differently was that we decided that we will not indulge in navel gazing, that we would not look inward and ask what we could do, but instead we would look outside. So we take an outside-in approach. So we decided that we wanted to look at industries that were similar to ours, but were significantly disrupted. And most importantly, we wanted to know not just what was happening in the industry, we wanted to know who the winners are and what they were doing right in order to win. So that's what we started out doing. And I think we quickly landed on these 2 industries that we wanted to look at. Retail, because a lot of the metrics used in retail have close mirrors in our context, right? In retail, they looked at things like footfall, revenue, and I suppose in the library world, we look at things like visitorship and loans. So close parallels. We decided also to look at the content industry, right? Because obviously we are in that business as well. But we framed it a lot broader because we think that's what we're really competing for, eyeballs, right? People's time. So we looked at these 2 industries, and I suppose being good librarians, my colleagues went into a lot of details to do deep dives into these industries to understand what was going on. And I shall not bore you with all the details. I will just give you the top line summaries. So from retail, I think one of the things we learned, I know we talked a lot about digital strategy over the last few days, right? Which is important. But we thought that in retail, one of the emerging trends, when you think about the retailers that were winning, right? Like the likes of Amazon, the likes of Alibaba, what they were thinking of is not just a digital strategy. It was about actually how they brought the channels together, the sort of omni-channel approach. I think for these, they started off as digital first in terms of their business, but they quickly decided that, look, physical presence was important too. But what was important is not to develop them separately, but to bring them together. And I think from the content industry, I think it was even more of a revelation for us. I will quickly go to this slide. Yes, and this is not my Netflix page, in case you're wondering why there's fashion and I don't know. But you get the idea that, look, if we look at something like Netflix, which is a content business really, right? What they're doing now is that actually people are consuming content based on personalized recommendations. And these personalized recommendations are really driven by your consumption patterns. They're using data. So these were really data-driven personalized recommendations. So to us, this was a bit of a revelation because 70 to 80% of the content consumed on Netflix went through this route. This is discovery. Right? This is discovery. And it was a revelation for us because if you take a reductionist approach and think about libraries, libraries are essentially about maximizing the collection and perfecting the search. Right. One thing we learned from the content industry is that, well, it's not one or the other. They still have search buttons, right? But you need to be in both. And for us, if content consumption's patterns were shifting towards discovery, we needed to build that up and be in both in order to succeed. So what we did, and of course, if you take a look at Spotify, it's fairly the same. And what we did, therefore, is that we then took a hard look at our channel strategy. We took a hard look at our content strategy. I'll just again quickly go through some of these things. I won't go through every single thing, but let me talk about our digital strategy. So we decided that for digital front, we needed something that people were familiar with, that people were very familiar with social media, for example. They were very familiar with content discovery. So we've been doing prototypes, improving our current platform. We currently have an NLB mobile app, but we've been doing prototypes with tens of people, hundreds of people, and then I think in 2 months' time or so, we will be rolling out a new prototype that will touch hundreds of thousands, we think, of users on this. And what this does is that actually it's a multi-modal format, right? We bring different content of different formats together. It's presented to the user with discovery in mind. We design discovery as an experience, and we design it similar to social media as an infinite feed. And that infinite feed, what you see, is also driven by your past patterns, what you borrowed from us, what you read from us, etc. So that's something that we're doing with our digital platforms.
Yeah, sure. Here, boss.
Sure.
Yeah, this is interesting because when we started Lab 25 several years ago, we were anti-Facebook. We might still be anti-Facebook because Facebook was all about getting addiction and then going into your echo chambers and all that. So when we first built our product, it wasn't Facebook, it was Netflix. So it's all about swiping and all that. Then we realized that actually library content is not watchable TV content, which is what Netflix is. It's actually the consumption of content. So in a way, guys, we decided, why don't we do good addiction? Be addicted to good content. So we wrote the beast, we borrowed all the language and the dynamics of a social media feed. It's an infinite feed. Instead of a doom scroll, it became a good scroll. Okay, that didn't get the effect that I wanted. Damn, yeah. But you guys are still winning. Okay, they are in the lead now. The two ladies are in the lead. Now you know you're in the lead, right? You know, right? Okay. You know. Okay. Yeah. So I think the idea of pivoting so quickly to that was so important. So we decided let's try and beat Facebook at its game. So when this when this great tech company came and worked with us, they were proposing all kinds of things. But guess what? NLB said, no, we want to do it this way. So they kept trying to show us fanciful designs like, oh, what's the color story? This sort of thing, like what designers would do. I said, no. Keep it plain. Keep it really plain. We're just here to test how the users will react to an infinite scroll, but with good content. We tested with a small group of people.
Yes, that's right.
And shockingly, guess what? They liked it. Yeah, so now we're going to go bigger. So I don't know whether we'll be the first to actually use the language and dimensions of a social media feed, and apply it to a library content system. Yeah, I want to say that.
Yes, please. And what we did also is that we decided that just having physical and digital channels were not enough. We came up with the idea called nodes. What nodes are is, in essence, they are pop-ups. So this is something we learned from retail as well, which is very good with pop-up stores and all that. And so we say, can we do pop-ups outside our physical network, our physical facilities? And what it did was that it allowed us to do a fair amount of experimentation. As you can see here, it allowed us to do a niche collection around manga. Right. This was designed so that it was completely self-service. People could just walk in, borrow the things out, and we didn't have anybody manning that particular library. We started out by saying, well, this has to be low cost for it to make sense. So when we negotiated with landlords, it was on the premise that landlords gave us space for free. So this was space that they couldn't quite rent out. And we did such a great job activating the space, that eventually they kicked us out. But it was okay, because we went in there with a clear time horizon that this was for an experiment. It was for 6 months. We wanted to learn something from it. And of course, these pop-ups, and this is another example of a pop-up that we did, it allowed us to work with brands, make global brands. So in this case, we did something with Paramount around the Garfield. So this was quite successful as well, and they kicked us out as well.
Let's tell them the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next one we're doing in a place that you'll see when you land in Singapore is Star Wars. I'm just... Okay, I give up. Come on, guys. Okay, I tell you what, I have to do this.
Okay.
Guys, okay, just pause for a minute. Okay, this is what you get if you respond to all the prompts. Right? Hi, ladies, how are you? Where are you from? So nice to see you. Come, let's take a photo. Yeah. And use up even more of my boss's time. Yeah. Guys, jealous? Yeah, jealous. Thank you. You have to share this. I don't know how. You have to share that. Back to you, boss. Sorry.
Okay, sure. We didn't just have pop-up physical stores. There were some that were digital as well. So we did this a node in transport hubs, bus interchanges, etc., and train stations. And basically where people had time, were waiting for things, and it allowed us to reach out to a million more users, people who normally wouldn't have interacted with us. So this was our node strategy. And then we added a fourth channel, which is around delivery. So in Singapore, we've structured it as a paid service because we didn't have the budget for it. So we collected fees for the service. So there are really two categories of delivery service. So one is that people could, from the comfort of their home, order books from across different libraries. We'll assemble it for them and send it to their homes. The other one is a paid subscription service where if they tell us the age of the kid, every month our librarian will curate a bundle of 8 books and send it to their home for a fee. So these two, I don't think we've maximized the potential yet, but we're currently doing about northwards of 100,000 loans a year. Yeah. Yeah. And then
whistling is good. Who whistle? Who whistle? Who whistle? Okay. Ventriloquist. Okay, I'm sorry. Yay! Multimodal content. Yay.
And of course, on the content side, I think just as everyone's doing, we're going into different content. So it's not just physical ebooks, audiobooks. We're increasingly going into creation of podcasts. Our librarians are doing videos as well, and those have been extremely popular. And if you happen to be on the Singapore Airlines flight, our content is somewhere in the in-flight entertainment.
Okay, 1, 2, hands up. That's good. Hand up is good. Yeah, good one. Okay, 2. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the idea of blurred lines. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you also about physical libraries. I'm getting worried because all of those things that you described, they can either be delivered from your phone, or they might take you away from our nice libraries.
Yeah.
Do you believe in physical libraries?
Absolutely. And that's what I was coming to, Jean. Because I suppose just as retail, right? Because if people can buy your products online, the key question you need to ask ourselves is why would people come into a physical store? And that's what we've been thinking about. And I think for us, we're leaning towards what we call blurred lines, meaning it's no longer the traditional function of the library. We need to think hard about what sort of experiences people will get, which they can't get from the comfort of their home, in order to entice them to want to come to the libraries. And I think we've drawn inspiration from around the world as well. So Vicky, thank you very much for showing us around SLQ on Sunday morning. And I think you will recognize this. I thought it was a fascinating piece of artwork along the Knowledge Walk. It's called Black Opium. And I think it's not just a beautiful piece of art installation. More importantly, I think it's used to tell stories. It's used to tell stories about the history of the opium trade and its impact on the people in the state. which we think is an important experience. And we've been doing that in our own libraries as well. So let me share with you some examples from our library, from one of our libraries. This is the latest library we just reopened this year. We revamped. We had monies to systematically upgrade our library, so we've been very fortunate in getting government support for that. So this space is in the Central Public Library, which is in the basement of the National Library building. There is this space which is called Singapore Alcove, and we try to blur the lines between what is traditionally a library function and a museum function. So we brought shelves and exhibition together. So public library meeting the National Library. So what happened here is that interspersed between the shelves of books, you will find exhibits that tell the story, in this instance, of how Singaporeans used to spend their recreational time. In Malay, it's called lepak, right?
Lepak. Can you say after me? Lepak. Again, lepak. Thank you.
Yeah, so interspersed in the shelves, for example, you could find a football ticket stub, for example, from an old football match. You could find something a ticket that people used to enter the swimming clubs, for example, and we use that to tell stories from old Singapore. This is another example. This is right at the entrance of the Central Public Library. So this is a piece of artwork by a local artist, and what he sketched was really buildings of Singapore, both from past and present. And we added then a digital AR layer to enable people to find things. So it serves as sort of like a Where's Wally, right, where you can find things and we play games around it, and it's an interesting way to discover old Singapore. Likewise, we have an immersive room. This is a big curved room in the same library where, the installation is called Book Havens. It's currently ongoing. So we show what happens in the colonial days, of how the book trade has evolved over the time from colonial days, post-independence, and then to current. So again, it's an interesting way to tell stories because there's AR elements in there.
Yeah, it's quite emotional. Yeah. Don't go again. Okay. Sorry, that was a little obvious. Okay. I wanted to ask you about library killers.
Okay.
So we've had various predictions about how we're all going to die. Okay, so first it was the internet, and then it was e-books, and then social media. I have been asking myself since November 2022, have we finally met our killer? Okay, and it's something that we've all been talking about. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little poll here. Boss, can I do a poll?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. Can you participate too?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the poll is...
He's going to do this regardless of what I say anyway. Okay.
Cameraman, hi. Okay, except I'm taking it back. Okay, so I'm going to do a poll here. And the poll is Gen AI, threat, or transformation. Okay, there are two T's. Okay, so threat first and trend. Have you made up your mind? Pramila, hi Pramila. You've made up your mind? Okay, so threat. Okay, so don't tell me it's blurred lines. Okay, you have to vote for someone. Okay, Trump or Harris, that sort of thing. Yeah. Don't stay home, go out and vote. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so threat or transformation, one at a time. Okay, those who say threat, hands up. Wow, this group is so evolved.
Oh.
Okay, those who say, threat, Peter. Yeah, Peter wants a gift, that's why. And then transformation. Wow. Well done, you've all been brainwashed by Vicky. Okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to fall off because, that would be everything that you remember. Okay, hi Peter, how are you? Yes, let me introduce Peter. Peter here. And guys, guess where Peter is from? Kazakhstan. Yeah, shout out to Kazakhstan. Yes, the contingent. Why do you think Gen AI is a threat?
It's a very, of course, complicated issue. I think we should find our own way. I would like to say, of course, sorry, I would like to say that in my memory, we try to use marketing in libraries at the beginning of 20s. And now we try to be very marketing, servicing organization successful. But I think threat is we can forget about our real essence of our activities. For example, I can. Yes. I can ask you what is the main mission of libraries. Usually, people answered reading. People should read, but I answer the main mission of libraries is to promote intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and aesthetical potential of people and promote sustainable development of humanity.
Thank you. Boss, you got a lot. So what are we going to do about Gen AI, boss?
Sorry?
Show us. What are we going to do about Gen AI? Tell us.
Okay, well, we started quite early on this journey. And we decided quite quickly that I think with generative AI, threat or not, we decided we have to be in there. We have to be in the game in order to try to do something about it rather than to leave it to the tech giants to just drive it on their own. So we went into Gen AI. I remember that was about 2 years ago, right? I think ChatGPT came out 30th November 2022. And we dived in there without the strategy. Right, we decided that we would, and I think my brief to the team, if you remember.
Did you say without a strategy?
Yes, without the strategy, right? Without the strategy, we dived in there, and my brief to the team was, let's just go engage the tech giants of different
By
types.
this team, he means...
You're good at engaging, right? So and we said, we'll just go out, brainstorm with the tech companies what could be done with technology, and figure out together whether there was some collaborative projects we could work on. Right? And if you could call that a strategy, I think our only strategy, if you call it that, was that we decided that, yes, certainly generative AI could be used for productivity-related tools, like helping to describe items that we create, tagging photographs, for example. Those sort of things can be done. We decided not to place emphasis on that. Not because we didn't believe in them as productivity tools, but because we felt that there was already a lot of work ongoing in that front. And we said there was no point doing what others were already doing. We will come in a bit later, which we have done eventually. But what we did was that we decided something a bit riskier. We decided we want to go in on front-end services. As well, I mean, all of you know, offering front-end services is a lot more risky, but we felt that there was an opportunity for us to create new value. So I think what we have done is that we've rolled out a bunch of prototypes, and the prototypes can largely be put into two buckets. One of which is what we call transforming stories, and the other one is called transforming inquiry. Jean, do you want to come in?
Yeah, you can show a video, and after that we can talk a little bit about how we made the tech giants our minions.
Okay. Does this work?
We all love a classic tale, but what if you had the power to add your own twist? Welcome to StoryGen. Experience the magic when human creativity meets generative AI. Get started by reimagining stories. Tap on Create Your Story. Choose from a set of well-loved stories. Select a genre. Pick a location. Choose your characters. Determine how the story ends and let Gen AI do its magic. Here, the AI reimagines the story based on your selected options. Images are also generated to create a visual storytelling experience. Tap on Publish My Book and watch your reimagined story come to life.
So that was really a fun product that we created, right? We weren't quite sure how long the novelty effect will last.
Wait, can I
yeah.
just ask the crowd,
Sure.
those who know the answer, namely those who goes by the name of Vicky McDonald, should not say anything, but those who don't, how long do you think it took to do that? Give me a time, yeah. Philip, you look like the most intelligent person in the room. That's not good. 1 month? Damn, okay, someone else with a more realistic answer. What about you? Thank you, I love you. 2 years is a great answer. It's so completely wrong, but I love you. Because it sets me up completely. Yeah, it took 2 months, right?
Yes, that's right.
2 months. Yeah, 2 months from the conception to getting it all done. Yeah, and I guess that is the process of rapid prototyping.
Indeed,
which we have been doing for almost all our projects.
I think we went into this project not knowing, how patients would take to it. We thought it was quite fun, right? But that was really from our perspective. We've been running it since, January this year? And we've moved it around libraries. The interest is still extremely strong. We're still getting about 12,000 visitors per month.
We actually got 50% more when we moved to a different location because it's like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Wrong turn of phrase, yeah.
So that's one category. The second category is what we called transforming inquiry. So what we did was that we started out, not with this product that you see on the screen, we started out with this idea of developing a chat book. Right. So what we did was that we ingested one book that we published a few years ago called 700 Years of Singapore History. We combined it with materials written by our librarians. So these were all trusted sources. We put it into the algorithm. We used a well-established technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. And by that, we were able to ensure that the answers produced, there was no hallucination. And so we offered it initially as 2 types of services. One is a WhatsApp service, the other one is a web-based service. So you could pose a question about Singapore's history, the algorithm will give you an answer almost instantaneously. And it gave you sources as well, which allowed you to dive deeper. And the good thing,
where to borrow and purchase the book as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was our first product. So it was an online product. We did it, prototyped it with about 1,000 people. It was extremely, the response was overwhelmingly positive. So that gave us confidence to move to this second product, which you see here. So again, the timeline was extremely tight. This was, we were first approached by an author, right, who had finished her book. She was planning to launch the book in July this year. She approached us in March, and she asked if we could, and she was working on a authorized biography of one of our founding fathers. And she asked if we could do an exhibition around it. So we told her that yes, but we will not do a traditional exhibition, that the centerpiece of the exhibition will be a chat book. So what we did was that we obtained her permission to use the rights of her book to provide this in-person experience. And so what you could do here is that you could sit there, ask questions about this particular founding father and anything on Singapore's history, and you would get an instantaneous reply. And what was interesting about this is that we ingested not only text-based information, we also ingested an oral history interview with this particular founding father. We took in official photographs that were taken of him in various occasions, and we presented this in this chat book. So maybe I will show the video, because that's probably explains this a lot better than me. Okay.
Step into the world of S. Rajaratnam, where the generative AI-powered chatbook featuring S. Rajaratnam takes center stage. This is NLB's first public version of the chatbook prototype, building upon the positive response and feedback from the testing of the first prototype chatbook. Chatbook featuring S. Rajaratnam offers users a unique multimodal experience where visitors can converse with a digital archivist by typing and speaking in an interactive space inspired by S. Rajaratnam's love for reading and writing. Visitors can engage with the chatbook by entering a question into the typewriter or speaking into the microphone to find out more about S. Rajaratnam's life and his contributions to Singapore's political history.
was S. Rajaratnam?
The chatbot generates a concise response drawn from multiple sources, reflecting the rich history of S. Rajaratnam.
S. Rajaratnam was a pivotal figure in Singapore's history, shaping the nation's development as one of its founding leaders.
Users can also download a bibliography of the source materials referenced for the responses to their questions by scanning a QR code. Discover Singapore stories with Chatbook featuring S. Rajaratnam.
And
And we did this in 6 weeks.
6 weeks, guys. But the most important thing, actually, for me as a librarian and a lover of physical libraries, is that we are very determined that our Gen AI products will not be just a phone-based product. Yeah, and that's why I didn't want you guys to look at your phones, because I think that's a very, very damaging culture, especially for the anxious generation. So our Gen AI products work perfectly with an in-person experience, because we feel that it gives that extra kick to that. And on top of that, I think we also use techniques that were not used earlier. We use compound AI. So it's search plus large language models. So we didn't just fling our hands like damsels in distress and say, oh my God, Google save me. You know, we put Google to work. The librarians were the ones who pre-visualized every frame of what's going to happen. So the one that you saw earlier, story, and this one, we pre-visualized every frame. And then we told the tech company, can you achieve that? And every step of the way, we are the ones holding the reins. It's extremely important. So do not, thank you. Yeah. Do not surrender yourselves to the tech giants, because librarians, we have worked long enough to know our users, and we know what makes them tick. We also know what makes them go to a different level.
And I suppose maybe just 2 other points. So one of it is that when we engaged the tech companies, they were so interested in this because it was a use case they've never thought about. So much so that actually they co-invested in this together with us.
So they didn't just take money from us, they put money in.
The second point, which you may find interesting, is that the publishers were extremely excited about this because I think it's as a result, although we don't have the attribution, as a result of the chat book, right? The bookstores around the library all sold out of this authorized biographies. So much so that I think when the book publishers met, they said we really showed them the way forward.
I think they did attribute.
Oh.
The folks who went to the bookstore said they came from this Gen AI experience wanting to purchase the book, because the Gen AI experience actually whetted their appetite. Yeah, and in Singapore there was a huge outcry just about a couple of months ago by creators who said that Gen AI is not good. It's going to steal our livelihood and all that. When we did this project, we worked with the publishers and writers, and 2 of the publishers who were quoted in newspapers leading the outcry actually said to us, they said, guys, if you guys do this, you know, you are showing the way. This is the future. This is the future for creators. This is the future for writers. Because this is a way to expand the discovery of their works. Yes. I'm just milking it.
Yeah, I know. I can see that quite clearly.
So last time please invite me to anything. So I have to milk it. Okay. And then you have what do you have? Black stuff. Yeah, you have black stuff.
Okay, so I suppose we're at the stage where we're asking ourselves what next? How do we bring these 2 forward? So I think for what we call as transforming inquiry, we think it can be potentially transform lots of parts of our inquiry services. So we can transform a reference service, for example. Right, just imagine anyone could ask us something related to Singapore, and we could make use of algorithm to provide interesting replies drawn from authoritative sources. We think we can use this thing as well to generate personalized reads for every single person that came to us. We think we can generate learning pathways as well for learners who came to us.
The key thing is also when we work with the tech companies, one thing we realize is that we don't just tell them, let's do a reference for this. The librarians can design what we call the mega prompts. Yeah, we can tell them how to design the retrieval prompts and what the things we're after. We can also prioritize the sources that we want it to come in. We can look at the way that it comes out. We can do it in different languages. We can do it for different age groups. So all these things are decisions that tech companies will not make for you.
So for example, Eugene, you're right. You reminded me that for the chat book involving Rajaratnam, we knew that when he did the oral history interview with the archives, he was already quite old by then. His memory was not the best, so there were some things where he remembered wrongly. And as a result of our knowledge of the content sources, we decided to prioritize the book, which the author had religiously researched on, over the oral history interview in terms of the packing order in which the replies came out. Yeah, but I think I think there's an opportunity for us to transform book launches. That book launches will never be the same again.
Yeah, so I think they were saying it's a future business model for publishers. Yeah.
But what I'm most excited about is transforming book panels. So imagine, right, if we had people with oral history interviews, with biographies, and they are from different points in history, right? Imagine bringing all of them together in a book panel and having them interact with one another.
No,
almost like that.
I'm sorry, the exact words that you used was you wanted them to fight with each other.
Yes, I did.
I believe what you said was the French Revolution.
Okay.
And because there are different perspectives.
I'm trying not to be so provocative, yeah?
Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Yeah, it's in you. Yeah, let it come out.
Yeah. But on transforming story as well, we're extremely excited because we think it can transform storytelling. It can transform exhibitions. So just imagine an exhibition that's driven by inquiries, right? Questions that people have, and it actually evolves depending on your questions. And can you imagine using generative AI to pull memories from different parts together to generate an item that you are looking for?
Yeah, it's not to change your memory, guys.
Yeah.
It's not changing your memory.
Yeah, but this is the part that we're most excited about, which is that when we bring all these together, we can transform the physical experience. So we are currently undertaking a major project where, for one of our libraries, we are shutting it down for a while to make it a generative library, to bring the two strands together, transforming inquiry and transforming stories. And this should happen sometime next year. So if you are visiting Singapore sometime in the second half of the year, we promise you it should be ready. Right, right Jean?
Yes. So guys, I'm here now. I'm the Executive Creative Director of the first generative library in the world. It's opening in June next year in Singapore. And it's the basis for what we think is the future library models, where libraries are still holding the reins, but Gen AI will work with us to do it 100, 200, 300 times better. Okay, so with that, thank you for your time. Now it's time for Q&A. Okay, you can applaud first. Applaud.
Thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for questions. It's 4:06. Yeah, 4:06. So I have about 9 minutes. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. Let me get to this lady here and then that sorry, I can't see you. Yeah, that lady over there. Sorry, I can't see you. Yeah, okay. So this lady over here, hi, how are you? Yes, you already got the prize, so I'm getting another one. Yeah, hi. Yeah, where are you from?
Canberra, Australia. I just have a question about your energy. Well, your energy instills and invokes a buy-in. What would you suggest to help those in any context who have the fear of moving forward in a positive way to also then embrace the potential to also ride the beast with us?
So the quick answer is pay me. The not quick answer, my boss is doing what I get from my wonderful friend.
Yeah, but other than paying Jean, I think some of the possibilities here, I hope, will inspire people as well to say, well, actually, it doesn't cost a lot. You can do small prototypes and you can make small gains, and that gives you confidence to move forward, which I think is quite important. So I think one part of, again, not quite the strategies, we decided we will bet small because we didn't know better, right? And that's why I think the co-investment by the tech company, that helps.
Yeah, just keep trying, guys, and I'm cheap. Okay. Sorry. That did not come right. Let me stand up. I need a photo with you. Please. I want a photo with you. Come, let's do a photo like that. Okay, where's the... I'm assuming there's someone taking photos. Yeah. Okay. It's very meta. What's your question, Donna?
Hi, I noticed with the voice that you used in your chat book, it was that generic robot American.
Yeah.
Have you got plans to make it sound more local, give it more local flavour?
We had one of the local flavor, but because we had 6 weeks, it was talking too slowly. Yeah, so we do intend to clone one. And guys, when you do come to our generative library in June 2025, it'll be in 4 languages. And in some of these languages, it's impossible for it to be a generic American voice. But I love Atlanta. Yeah. Okay. Not sure if that's a good answer. Any other questions? Oh, I left my presents there. Can someone help me get some, please? Someone meaning someone from the National Library Board? Okay, I'm going to run up, and then there are 2 questions. I think Vicky will kill me if I take any more. So 2 questions. I'm going to go up first. Okay, guys. Oh my God, training's good. My training is good. Why do you sit here with the cheap seats? Why? Why? And sir, where are you from, sir?
Right here in Brisbane.
Yes, Brisbane. Yes, Harry Potter. Here. Yes, thank you. Okay, you're tall. Okay.
Thank you so much.
What's your question, sir? Daniel?
I was just wondering, with generative AI, and our library has a lot of kids, how do you stop people from looking up things that they maybe shouldn't?
Guys, this is a perfect question for my boss. Boss, you got it?
Thank you, Jean. Yeah, so actually it's interesting you asked that, because when we were doing Story Gen, right, about transforming stories, we knew that kids would love to play with it. And we asked ourselves, how do we do a PG version? So actually, if you notice, I know you flashed by quite quickly, we were experimenting and we deliberately took out the genre called romance, because we didn't know how it would end.
We did. Guys, we actually did, there were dogs, and there were princesses, and when they started having romance, it's a bit too much. But we are having a horror story one, right, boss?
Yes, we are.
Halloween. Yeah, so that one, there's a parental advisory for that one. Yeah, because that one, we took off the guardrails. Yeah. Hi, ma'am. You guys are terrible and cruel. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Where's the camera person? Okay. Thank you. Josephine, what's your question?
Okay, so I'm Josephine. I'm from Brisbane as well. So, and we met last night at dinner. So, how did you bring the staff along on the journey? Because I've been through disruption initiatives previously, and there's always those that are the laggards and don't want to come on the journey. How did you inspire, because this is very external focused, how did you bring the staff on the journey as well? And what did you do with those ones that didn't want to participate?
Pay me. Also to you, the real answer.
Yeah, sure. So what we did, I think, was that, we recognized that as with any change management, there will be people who are skeptical, who are sitting on the fence, etc. We decided to, anyway, we were starting small. So we said, we proceeded with a small team. And once the results came on board, once people could see the products that we were putting out, and they could see the sort of results from the response from the public, I think views changed quite quickly. And like I said, we didn't go for a big bang. We were doing small prototypes, and those helped get the buy-in. So I'd say, by and large, now if you ask my colleagues in the National Library Board, most people are extremely positive, just as this audience is, about generative AI.
Are you positive? Guys, are you positive? Oh, I just realized that question could mean a lot of things. Yeah, sir, how are you? And then I got one final question at the top. Yes, sir, I've run out of presents. I'm sorry. Do you want my jacket?
I have 2 questions, one for you and one for your boss. For you first, what did you like best about your boss?
Now that's a loaded question. Good luck to you, Jean.
For him now. I understand that you have a wide range of users, because it's research, public, and National Library. So how do you choose the material that you are transferring? On what base? To what audience?
I see. You mean choose the materials for the prototypes, you mean? Or choose the materials for... is that what you meant? I see. Choose the materials for the prototypes. Actually, we're just driven by the brainstorming sessions that we went through with the tech giants, talking about, I think, what products may make sense from the customers. And then we, as Jean explained, we decided what sort of products we think might work, rather than for the tech giants to decide on those. And there was a fair amount of decisions. I mean, we don't have time to go through some of these details, but maybe let me just give you a quick sense of the flavor. Right. I think if the tech giants had done the chat book, they might have deep-faked S. Rajaratnam. Right, but we chose not to because we said, well, some people like to hear him, and you can hear him from the oral history, clips of the oral history interview. But we decided to introduce an intermediary, which is the digital archivist, which provided the response. We think that's the more responsible use of generative AI. And like I said, we do this partly because we believe in developing the product and hopefully in the process help set some norms about responsible use of generative AI.
Yeah, because just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was pitch for applause. Okay, why do I like my boss? Oh no, that was not the question. The question is, why do you like? I like him because, guys, and that might answer the question, he's the nicest, terrifying person I know.
Is that a compliment, Jean?
Backhanded, yeah. Yeah, nicest, and maybe there's a lesson here. Listen, guys, listen. Pay attention. Turn your heads, everyone, in front, behind me. Yeah, because the things they are doing are truly terrifying. The deadlines are horrific. Yeah, I've had a lot of nightmares. I'm still having them. But when you're nice about it and you don't punish people, you focus on reward, it works wonders. I don't know why. It just works wonders. Yeah, it's like not having fines. Yeah. Ma'am, Caroline.
I'd just like to say congratulations. I think it's really inspiring, your talk. But my question is about failure and what lessons you've learned about failure.
Okay, so my boss will answer that because apparently I don't fail. Yes.
Yeah, sure. So I think because we've structured them deliberately as small projects, right? So if they failed, if we don't make enough progress on them, we pivot. So maybe just, again, I'll give you an example. We wanted originally to develop a horror product, right, for Halloween. And we wanted to terrify people, obviously, right? But the first version that we saw didn't quite terrify people. So actually, we had to put it on hold for a while. Until recently, when technology developed, and we felt confident enough to move forward on that. So that's, I think, a part of the spirit of rapid prototyping, I think.
And we're very ruthless, guys. And if it's rapid, it's small, you can kill it. Yeah, I have been homicidal. Yeah. I've been killing stuff.
Yeah, and the other lesson to bear in mind is that we track the data very closely. So we know what the response is. If it doesn't work, actually we're able to stop it very quickly.
Yeah, so it's homicidal with data.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, on that note, I'm just going to say that I say data at home and everyone laughs at me. But in Brisbane, everyone says data, right? Yeah, I love you guys. So to close the session, I'll invite my boss and everyone in the audience to say data.
That's not fair. That's not the right way of pronouncing.
I would like my friends from the National Library Board to film that for me. Okay, so can you turn the cameras at everyone, my dear friends? Yeah? Okay, 1, 2, 3, data, and then we'll end, okay? Because Vicky's gonna kill me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, everyone.